This is Darrell Wissel, and I'm going to show you how to slit and drift some half-inch hole into a 1-inch squared bar. But first of all, I want to talk to you a little bit about preparing your fire, getting your forge ready to forge. A lot of people build their own forges, but it's very important when you build your forge to have holes big enough that you can get all the burnt ashes out of your last fire. So what I like to do is just take my little shovel and just move it back and forth and get all those little pieces out of my coal. And so when you build your forge, be sure to incorporate some larger holes like this. First forge I built, all I had was little 1/4-inch holes, and it worked just fine, but for cleaning out purposes it didn't work. So before you start your fire, always clean out all the ashes and everything, and then that'll give you a lot better fire to get things burning. Okay, now that I've got my fire started and ready to go, I've taken and I've marked my pieces with the center punch on where my hole's going to be. It's very important because when you're bringing out a fire, you know, your lines don't disappear and stuff. So I've got them marked, and gives you a good reference point to start your chisel work. I've also made a back plate for my hole punch. That's very important because the hole in your anvil is way too big, so you need another hole that's the right size. So I'm going to put my steel in the fire, get it going, and then I'll show you my slit and drift punch that I've made to do this project with. Okay, I've got my steel in the fire and it's going pretty good over there, so I wanted to show you my drift that I made. Pretty simple, I just made it out of a chisel. It's 1/2-inch square. That's what I want my holes to be. So I have this backing plate right here, and then I go right through there. It's a little tight, but that kind of makes it good because when I'm drifting the hole, it keeps my metal in place and everything. Probably don't have to be that sharp, but probably have to redress it every once in a while because it does get hot when you're drifting. And I got a water bucket over there. Well, it's kind of an ice bucket now, but that's what I use to cool it while I'm in the process of drifting my hole. So hopefully when we get done, we'll have some nice 1/2-inch square holes, and then them will be used for tenons on my piece. I have the piece right over here that has some tenons on it that I've made. So I got 1/2-inch square tenons, 1/2-inch hole. I'm going to be mortise and tenon this bench all together. These are some letters that I've made. It's going to have the word hope on the backrest of the bench. So should be a pretty cool project when I get it all done. I wanted to make it with no welding done, so it's going to be a lot more complicated. So when I get my steel hot, I'll show you how I drift my hole. got my steel pretty hot. Clean it off a little bit so I can see my marks. And it's very important to get your drift lined up real good and straight. And this time I'm just kind of getting it started. Getting everything all lined up and everything. Okay, that looks pretty good. Put her back in the fire. Got my other one ready, so I'll go ahead and do it also. Got that one off a little bit. Okay, I lost my heat. That's the first time that's ever happened. So I'm gonna get her back in the fire and we'll go a little further. I'm gonna go about halfway through. Cool my punch. I have to turn this a little sideways because I got a little bend in my leg there. Okay, so I'm about to the point of going through. Kind of keep this straight the way I want it. But you can see the holes almost all the way through. One more heat and we should be able to get it. Yeah, I've lost my heat on that one. So back in the fire. So I got really good heat this time. I'm going to put the hole over the hardy hole. Get it. Hopefully we'll get it punched through right here. Okay. Pull my chisel off. I'm going to use my plate, turn it over. I've lost some of my heat, so I don't know how this is going to work. Okay, I've lost too much of my heat, so I'll heat it up again and start over. Okay, back in the fire. So I'm hoping to get all the way through it this time. Get everything lined up. Okay. Trying to make sure I got the same curve that I had before I started. Okay, it looks pretty good. Get the other one done, and that's how I make. Not sure if this one will go all the way through. We'll try it though. Okay, I'm going to heat that one up again and start over. Didn't quite have it hot enough. Okay, I've got a really good heat on it this time. Hopefully we'll be able to get all the way through it. That is if I can get my chisel lined up. There we go. Alright, so that's how I put a 1-inch square hole in or a 1/2 inch square hole in a 1-inch rod. It's not the perfect way, but hopefully you learned something out of it. So thank you very much, and this is Darrell Wissel from Do Blacksmithing. I hope you enjoyed the video.